In our culture, it's all about the trees. The trees. The trees are everything. You know, we're always gathering around the trees. It's our life. It has always been from the root to the very top. It's all about the trees. What's amazing is people come from all over the world, mainly white people, to see our trees. Hanging trees today. Weeping trees that cry real tears, the bloodline, the red blood. The most famous hanging tree is the angel oak tree. The angel oak tree, a live oak. It's a very popular hanging tree. And people from all over the world come to just look in awe at this massive hanging tree. We have them all over Charleston. Hanging trees everywhere. Here we're off of America Street. We have a beautiful hanging tree. Interesting. The projects. Massa wrote the slave code now. Massa is a Hebrew word that means burden. Massa wrote the slave code that says, keep the man from out of the houses. Cannot stay with the family. The men do not stay with the women and children. The projects now. America Street. There's only one America Street in America. And here we are on America Street projects. Notice another slave auction block. The real money. The real reason for this city now is to sell us. So this combination, real witchcraft, wicked, powerful, evil. Wow. Hanging them on display, selling them on display. Slave auction blocks are everywhere in this city. One side you got the projects. On the other side of the street you got $1 million mansions. Multi-million-dollar mansions on one side and projects just across the street. Damn. What's interesting is the dead foliage, what looks like it's dead, is actually called resurrection fern. Resurrection. If you sprinkle, get a little bit of rain, overnight you come back to life. Beautiful green. Resurrection fern. On the hanging trees. Hear that bell? Oh, sound the alarm. Grandmama, I'll be back. I'm going outside to play. Grandmama gonna say, boy, look here now, you better be inside this house before that street light come on, or be inside this house before the sun go down. You better be home before dark. Or Massa is gonna whoop your behind. A church steeple is a runaway slave lookout tower. When a slave escapes because Massa's life is in danger, sound the alarm. The church bells ring. Sound the alarm. You don't hear the church bells when you're in church on Sunday. Huh? Sound the alarm to let everybody know one has gotten away. Your life is in danger. Be on alert. Go get the dog. Slave patrol, police patrol. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road to the end of the rainbow. Here we have the Golden House, Mr. William Aiken Rett's other house, just across the street. At the other end of the hanging trees. Picnic. Pick that nigga to hang, right? Right. Heaven. This is heaven for them. Under the houses, under the streets, is where the slaves stayed. Wow, gold. Check out this color. That's fancy right there now. Golden houses. Follow the yellow brick road to the end of the rainbow. You'll find that pot of gold. The pot of gold is the slaves. Notice the slave door, the privileged slave's door. Down low and above, massive double doors. Massive, oversized. These doors are only to give you the view. When you open these doors, it's just for the windows. And this is perfectly set up for the hanging trees, for the original drive-in movie theater. The picnics, watching the blacks swing on trees, was a big event everyone looked forward to on Sundays after church service. Usually, although it happened regularly here in this city. Hanging trees, notice the perfect view. Here in heaven, Charleston. Notice the door. Everything in the city is symbolic. And the GULLAH Geechi people were symbol readers. Everything you see here is a conversation. My. The pineapple, our culture, the heritage of the people. The peacock, the eyes, the feathers, even the eyes goes to the owl of TripAdvisor, and you can't not see the skulls with the flame of light at the top. And certainly the rope motive. The rope for the hanging trees. When you see these under the home, this tells you that the owner is a ship merchant. They commanded the most money in the slave culture. They brought the slaves in by the ships. But when you see the rope on the houses, either around the door, around the window, maybe on the gates, this tells you that they are selling the hangman's rope. So when you want to hang your slave, purchase your rope from me. This is the money. Charleston was about selling. It was money. It was business. Selling slaves. As a matter of fact, selling slaves. Whenever you sold a slave, you have to be standing on a block. On the block. And the highest bidder wins the prize. A trophy is a slave on a block, and this is a slave auction block. The very common lie in this city is that this is a carriage step. Carriage steps are only at plantation houses. They're very large. You step right into the carriage. This is a slave auction block. Anytime you're sold, you have to be on the block. Charleston was created for one reason. 85% of Charleston owned slaves, 15% rented their property, rental property, sold to the highest bidder. Created just to sell slaves. That's this holy city, Charleston. Many different types of blocks, many different types of slave auction blocks. Charleston is that city that does not name their blocks. Instead, they lie about them and call them something else, something that they are not. Whenever you see these, family, understand where we were sold for money to other people.